Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you the service mode on the Zanussi and electrolux machines with this style display. Now first of all, you're going to want to make sure that there's nothing in the drum, and you are going to want to shut the door. You're also going to want to make sure that when you have the machine powered on, it is just showing the 3 lines. This means that there's no saved cycle. It will go into service mode if you start it when a cycle is saved, but mine just keeps beeping at me if I do that, so I just always make sure that it's on with the 3 lines. So power it off, and you're going to want to hold reset and start pause, and when you turn it on you're going to want to keep holding these for 4 seconds until you hear 3 beeps. You're now in service mode. It will cycle through every LED on both the main fascia and the display, as you can see. So to cycle through the service mode, you use the fabric button to go forward and the temperature button to go backwards. We're only going to be going forwards today. So first of all, we've got the main wash valve test, and on the display it will show the amount of water in millimeters. Next up we have the pre-wash valve test, and the display will continue to show the amount of water in millimeters. Next up we have the softener valve test. Once again the display will show the amount of water in millimeters. Next up we have the bleach compartment test, which obviously I don't have a bleach compartment on my machine, so it doesn't do anything. But once again it will continue to show the amount of water in millimeters. Next up is the jet system and heater test, and it will display the temperature in degrees Celsius. At the moment it's hovering between 15 and 16. Next up is the leak test. So a tumble one way at 60 RPM, and then it will go into a 250 RPM spin wash. This is just to make sure the outer tub is not leaking. The display will show in exact RPM. Next up is the drain and spin test. This will make sure the pressure switch is calibrated correctly for 0, and it will also make sure the drain pump and motor are fully working. The display will show the RPMs in increments of 10. As you can see, it says 160 and 161, which means 1600, 1610 RPM, the highest speed this machine can go. Next up is the dryer box test, and this machine isn't a washer dryer, so once again it does absolutely nothing, and the display says nothing as well. Next up we have the error code reading. Mine says E00 because there is no stored errors. There was one point where it said E41 and I couldn't clear the error. And the E41 is from when the door lock was having issues unlocking by itself, and it was just clicking and clicking and not getting anywhere. It's been perfectly fine for over a year now, and I haven't had to change anything, so I'm not too fussed about that. Until now it wouldn't let me clear it, but one random day it obviously has just cleared itself, so yeah, that's great. Next up is config mode, and the display will say 00. Don't mess with this unless you know what you're doing, because this can render your machine unusable if you mess up something in the config mode. Next, you're back at the start of service mode, and to exit out of service mode you have to turn it off, then turn it back on, which will enter ELE mode, then turn it back off to exit out of ELE mode and then turn it back on, and now you will be back to your normal washing cycle selection mode. Although it will reset the beeper. So if you've previously turned off the beeper, to turn it back off again, you press temperature and spin speed at the same time for a couple of seconds, and then the beeper will be off, as you can see. I personally like to have the beeper off. Some people prefer it on. Completely up to you. And now you can continue going back to your washing. Service mode should only be used for diagnosis purposes, and it should only be used by people who know what they're doing, and it should never be used for abusive purposes. Damage to machines or personal injury caused by following this guide is not my liability. You have been warned. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.